Eliminating Angel. Welcome back to another Bit Legends video, fellas. So we are hot off the version 1.0.3 patch. I'll be filming the video talking about all things 1.0.3 in the future, but I wanted to jump right in to the thick of things and make this minion, start messing around with him. So who knows, I might post that video before this one or whatever. I don't know, it'll get up there. But we're making this minion, we're gonna test him out in some content, and we're gonna talk about it. So that's the plan. So there we go. First things first, silhouette looks cool. If we had to play Guess That Pokemon, definitely the Devil Bastion looking robot guy from Raid 9 is in this. Obviously I've seen the recipe, but it looks cool. We'll make them. We'll check it out. First things first, let's look at the stats. Very balanced stats. And balance doesn't always mean a good thing. Doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing either. Typically in my minions, I like my minions to kind of serve a specific niche or role. This guy is a healer/shielder, as we'll see in a second. And when someone is a support, whether it's a player or whether it's a minion, I want them to have a lot of speed. I don't want big juicy heals because it might look good, but it's really just a bunch of wasted overhealing. And if you have a big juicy heal that doesn't get there in time, your teammate might die before it gets there. So I like to lean more into healing, more into speed for my Healy boys. But this is enough speed. You should be able to get a lot done with this. The stamina is relatively high. The upside to that is you can use him as a little bit of an off tank, so second spot or back slot. The downside is those are stats that could have gone somewhere else, so depending on how you use them. There we go. And then the rest is an attack. He's got enough attack, so his heals and shields should have some bang to him, but we'll see him in content, and you guys can decide. So also keep in mind, when you look at a minion, the stats that you see are based on the stats of your character. My character is around 7.1 thousand total stats. And so this is what you see. I'll show you some of my other minions. You can see their stats to kind of compare. But for example, I think Sword God has like 1,300 stamina. Zeus has 2,000. Poseidon Shark has 2,400. I'll show you the stuff. So this guy, he's a pretty beefy boy. Is that a good thing or not? I don't know. We'll decide and we'll give some feedback. First things first. So his first ability, a 0 SP attack weakest ally. Excuse me, shield weakest ally, and this is really important. I'm very excited to see them to start moving away from having every 0 SP skill be attack nearest. I believe we've seen like an attack furthest and other things like that. I know Thunder Fury has attack target on 0 SP. It's really good they move away and kind of diversify, and I like that this is a shield. The other thing is I'd like to see them start putting 2 different 0 SP attacks on weapons for players to use and for minions. So this guy having a shield weakest is really good because usually you have usually you're not always overcapped on shield, so the chance of this being wasted is a little bit less. However, having a 0 SP attack nearest here as an option as well would be great for a player to manual this and good for your AI to try to use it. So that's just stuff I look forward in the future, but this guy's a step in the right direction. Moving on, so his 10 SP, so that's 1 pip. His attack nearest, it's cold damage. I don't know if we'll ever see some sort of like damage type debuff. Maybe that could be the next talent class that comes where you can debuff the enemy for cold damage minus 100%, and then all your cold minions do a lot more. We might see something like that. There's nothing on the plans that I know about at the moment for debuffing resistances, but it definitely could happen. We've seen a lot of groundbreaking stuff from these devs, so the sky's really the limit. And if there is a damage type on the minions, it's just setting everything in place for that to happen. I believe Sword God is cold. I think the other ones are cold. You could just roll in there with a cold debuff in the future and just make these guys go crazy, but we're not there yet. Anyways, the next 10 SP, shield 3 weakest. Also, using a little animation there. If you click the skill, it shows you animation. He's raving out. And then a 20 SP attack nearest. Attack nearest has good damage on it, good percentages there. And then here, Guardian Domain, the full SP, so 40 is the max at the moment. Heal and shield team. Now, we've seen this skill used before on the Raid 6 sword that players can use. And since players have so many bonuses, that skill would completely full heal my entire team and full shield them. This guy is not going to have a comparable bonuses to a player, but we're going to see how well this does, hopefully. We're going to run some content at the end of this with this guy and see how that does. And what's also more important is I want to show what the autopilot does with these skills, because the autopilot's not that intelligent. I know other games like Soda Dungeon has a user interface where you can actually design your own auto attack script, autopilot script. That would be amazing. I'd love to see that come to this game, but we're seeing so much so soon, so I'm going to kind of pump my brakes a little bit. But as far as the game, I'd love to see an armory where you could save different builds and players on your friends list can choose from those builds when they use you. I'd love to see augments, even though they've added in this bonus system. I still think augments have a place. And then I think third on the list would be some sort of AI script. But whatever, let's stay focused for a minute. So the bonuses you get when you make this guy, 20% hit points, 20% speed. Like I said, speed is amazing for healers because you want frequent heals that you can count on. Okay, I know he's going to get his turn next. My guy's going to survive. Okay, great. I don't want big juicy heals that look good on the screen, on the battle text, big numbers when it's really just overhealing and too slow. So I'm a big fan of speed here, and as you look, you get a lot more speed if you upgrade this guy. Hit point percent. So the same thing I said before, his stamina is rather high, and the upside is you can use him as an off tank. In fact, I'm replacing a tank on my team with this guy if he works out. The downside is those are stats that could have gone somewhere else, but he's really leaning into the stamina, so we're going to try to make that work for us, and we'll see how it goes. And then if we go into the upgrading thing, again, I'll talk about the minion upgrades when I do like the what is it, 103 patch breakdown kind of thing that I do. But he gets more speed. He gets SP cost reduction. Everybody gets hit point percentage at level 5. He gets more SP cost reduction, more speed, more cost reduction. I really like it. I really, really like it. So if you add up all that SP cost reduction, it's almost 50%. It's like right around there. So even though it says cost reduction, the way that the items have worked like this, like there's a helmet in Raid 8 that has this, it doesn't reduce the cost to use the skill. It actually acts as a refund. I'm going to assume this works the same way. So you use that big juicy skill that uses all your SP Guardian Domain, and then you get half your bar back after using it. So if that's the way this works, it's crazy. And then the last thing I'll say about the upgrades is that to get it all, of course, you do need to upgrade this guy a ton of times, and I'll talk about his recipe in a second. But since you're now getting legendary catchers, and you also have the minion recycle, which is, I use both of those things to make this guy, it's possible if you really focus on a legendary or two, you could get some upgrades. And then in just +1 is already going to give him a ton of speed. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. So anyways, that's the theory craft on him. We're actually going to get to it. The next minion I'm working on is not Zilla. I just need a Rex. So my next legendary catcher that I get from doing a bunch of raids, I'm going to catch the golden Rex and make this guy. Reason I made this one first is because I got this stuff faster, and we're really good in my guild on guild boss damage 1 through 4, and that's where this guy shines. So I'm still going to get him to prepare for whatever comes in the future, but he's a little bit less prio at the moment. Now let's compare to Zeusbird. Zeusbird's got a little bit less stamina, so we see over here the difference in the stamina is like 200, and then the speed eliminates a little bit faster. So comparable stats, but if we look at the skills, you really got to talk about both these guys. This guy shields team with the 10 SP, heals 3 lowest, and he's got some good attacks, and I never use this heal shield target. So I think these two together, since we almost always have a 5-man team, I think they'll work together somewhat well. And if we look at his upgrades, he's got healing and smite. I don't really see a value in smite. This guy with his regular healing is already over healing, and so if he was to smite on a heal, it would just be overhealing anyways. And then his attacks, he's got that attack strongest skill. Where is it? Attack strongest is good, so if he smites on that, I'm happy. But and then the same thing with the healing. Healing bonus doesn't help your damage, whereas speed will make you attack faster and heal faster. So speed I like a lot better. And then again, this guy's already over healing. So what is that 35% healing really doing for me? And then if you look at his upgrade path, he gets damage. Unfortunately, damage doesn't help your healing. It only helps your damage. I think they should just remove healing percentage and remove damage percentage and just put power percentage and have it work for both. But whatever. And then obviously I like speed. Everybody gets hit points at 5, and then he gets healing and more speed. So for all the speed, love it. It helps your healing, it helps your damage. The healing percentages here, he's going to get up to 100% bonus. It's just over healing, man. So I do have this guy, even though I have all these negative things to say about him. I like the guy. I like the minion. Creating him and upgrading him is going to be very difficult because his recipe, but I've done well with this guy, honestly, and I think the two together will make some sense. But anyways, let's go on and let's craft Eliminating Angel, and let's use him in some content. So for the recipe, there we go. I think this is new. Maybe it happened before. If you have all the stuff for the recipe, it sorts it to the top. If that's new, awesome. If it's not new, also awesome. Devil Beam. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I used a legendary catcher that you now can get from raid tokens in the patch 1.0.3. So we used a legendary catcher on this guy. Easy peasy, just walked up and grabbed him, took one raid because he's the raid boss. He's always there. These, if you just leave auto persuade on and you run a lot of raid 8, you're going to get them. I have killed a lot of these for recycle materials, but they're easy enough to get. I'm not going to worry about it. And then Terminator. This is a rare legendary spawn from raid 4, I believe. So I actually used my recycle materials, and I'll show you how to do that, to get him. So not the worst recipe that we've seen. You know, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but it's not the worst. Oh my goodness, Golden Rex is there. That was the other one I wanted. Golden Rex or Terminator, because Golden Rex is a rare from raid 9, and you can see I've used all my materials here, and I'm sure he'll come back, but basically you get excess minions, you come over here. I'm not going to use these guys yet because what if I just destroyed all these and I couldn't make the minion videos? That would be so bad. But anyways, you destroy those, you get recycled materials, you buy stuff, it's all good. And one of these days I'll be catching Rex in there, but I'm getting trolled. Maybe I could just go farm a ton of recycle for the next 6 hours and get that. But anyways, all right, moving on. So easy enough to get the recipe. Let's make the guy and let's actually show some content. Like I said, we're going to do. So fusion, legendary. Let's pull the lever, Kronk. Pull the lever. So yeah, not the most difficult recipe to make, and especially it's very daunting when you see these upgrades where you need to upgrade this guy up to 20 times. However, with the recycle system in the game, that's awesome. That's going to get you there as long as you have enough gold to burn. And with the legendary catchers that you get from doing 200 raids, you'll get it over time. And even if you can only +1 this guy, or +3 or +5, it's significant. And of course, he's getting stats. But look at that. Look at that. Looking good. He's looking basically how you thought. Kind of looks like a Bastion with a crazy backpack. And look at that. What is the M on his arm for? What is the M? Is it supposed to be an M? Looking cool. He kind of looks like a guild boss, I gotta say. All right, so cool times, and that'll wrap it. I'm just kidding. We're not gonna wrap the video. Let's do some content. So the reason why I got this guy, let's take loop off, is I'm able to do Ordeal 16s, but can I make it bigger? And just the way my brain works is I have to assume, we're doing some testing in here, I have to assume that more difficult levels are going to come, right? Because why would they not? And let's put in God of Swords. I was kind of testing out there you go, that looks good to me. I was kind of testing out the epics, which I'll be doing in a video later, probably if it's good. Epic +10 versus legendary +0 based on the new bonuses, or epic +15. That's why I saw my last team, but there we go. So we got Eliminating Angel. He's in the second spot because the second spot does get hit in Ordeal. Zeus Bird after him. God of Swords in the fourth spot because it's the lowest stamina. And that's the safest spot. And then Poseidon Shark in the back. Back gets hit relatively hard. So this should be a really tanky team. My question is, will God of Swords still get one shot like always? Let's find out. And there we go. Keep in mind, all the minions that you saw there, none of them are upgraded. And my total stats is 7.1 thousand, right? 7.1 thousand? Yeah. So here we go. Since the first waves are super easy, I'm actually going to start off and do a little bit of manual unless it takes forever. Oh goodness gracious, I've got my little angel pet on. This is going to be a big pain in the butt. We're gonna auto this one, and I'll explain why. I was going to manual until I could get what's his name again? Eliminating Angel. They've already changed his name from Annihilation Angel to Eliminating. I was gonna manual so I could use his 4 SP skill or 40 SP skill and see exactly how much it does, but yeah, since I've got my little angel pet on, which is a heal shield team on my tank right now, this is gonna be a longer run. But since we're doing at least 3 of these things, it'll probably be good. Show you guys some variety. Show you guys a little bit of Little Angel too. Little Angel is great for raids and is really good in Guild Boss 5. But other than that, I really don't use it anywhere else. So I try to wear it as much as possible. But since we don't have an armory system, that way if people are using my character, they're probably using me in Raid 9. And it's going to give them the most help in Raid 9 because as you can see, most of the shields that you're seeing are actually coming from the pet. They're not coming from the team. But anywho, I did ordeals for like 6 hours, I think it was, last Thursday because the patch happened and I only had 6 hours left in the daily bonus anyways. And I think I lost 1 ordeal out of running just nonstop the entire time. So that's pretty good. And a little bit of RNG, I guess, so it's going to happen. But when I watch some of these battles, what would happen is my tank would get rather low, and he would usually kill everything with Ricky and just all the way through it. However, Sword God would die a lot, and I'm thinking if I can keep Sword God alive, maybe the DPS will be higher, and then the runs will be faster. That's the hope, but we shall see. There's also a chance that I get rid of Shark, Poseidon Shark, and I put another DPS in there, and I can use Eliminating Angel to tank the back slot. So we'll see all those options. Obviously, you can see Sword God getting very low here. So I'm wondering if Eliminating Angel can keep everybody nice and shielded, and then my Zeus Bird can keep everybody nice and healed. That's kind of the idea. We'll see. I'm probably getting more heals, honestly, out of the Little Angel pet. And another thing I'd like to see, I know I've got a lot of ideas for the game, is if you could click into the DPS meter, and if you could kind of separate it out a little bit more and see, okay, what skills are doing the most healing, who's doing the most healing, what skills are doing the most damaging, and you kind of put more analysis into your builds and theory crafting and stuff. That would be nice. But hey, sky's the limit, I'm telling you, fellas. Sky's the limit. And all right, so we're on the 5th wave. So not too bad. The next time we run, I will definitely remember to put on Ricky. So you see the comparison. Should be a lot faster with Ricky as well. And sometimes the 5th wave is quite difficult. They vary a lot depending on what pets the enemies have, whether it's healing or damage or whatnot. But super healthy run. Sword God did get down to half. And we are taking a little bit of damage there, so Sword God gets hit again. Let's see. Having animations off is also a little bit different. I think that was Zeus Bird using his heal weakest 3. That's what that looks like. Not too bad. We're also seeing the Defender 5-piece bonus, giving everybody SP, so not too bad there. I should have stayed on the DPS meter a little bit longer, but let's swap on the pet. I noticed that I'm not using any boosts, but we're only doing a couple of these tickets. It's not a big deal. Is everything correct? Yeah, that's what I run. We're plus 15 on everything, and then my stats there. 71, 21. All right, 2 more of these runs. Same team. So anyways, future videos, it might get posted before this one does, but I'll do the patch breakdown for the new stuff. We're going to go auto again. Patch breakdown for the new stuff. I've covered a little bit in this video, but I kind of want to spend a little bit more time on it and do a little bit more of a long, drawn-out approach. and also future content. I want to compare DPS meter of Epics plus 10, Epics plus 15 against Sword God. So we'll see how that goes. I do think for the long term, legendaries are going to win, because with the catchers and with monthly events giving you catchers and with the recycle system, I do think that it's going to be realistic to upgrade these guys. Not for everybody, not for every minion, not for plus 20 on everything, but I do think it's going to be realistic for free to plays to get a legendary plus 0, get it plus 1 over a considerable period of time. Get it up to, probably plus 5 in a couple months if you just focus on 1 or 2. But the problem with that is if you really focus on a minion, you get invested, and then you start to worry. It's like let's say I get Sword God to like plus 10 or something. I'm going to be really concerned about, are they going to come out with something better? And then is Sword God going to get shelved? Like same thing with Orbit Goddess. When she came out, everyone's like, wow, this is the best DPS minion in the entire game. Holy smokes, plus 10 that thing. And slowly she's second position. Okay, maybe she's top 3. And then you start to run out of space when you're trying to make like a guild boss team, So is Orbit still good? Of course she is. But, there's only so many slots. You got to really pick and choose what you want. But I do think she's in a decent spot. So obviously here we're taking some damage. This is one of the reasons why I was really considering putting another healer on my team. Would the increased shields help? Would that allow Zeusbird to get more healing off? Or is just the autopilot just complete chaos and just does whatever it wants? Either or, you decide. But this is what I was seeing when I was running my ordeals. There we go, big heals coming in. I believe that was a crit from my little angel pet because it hit everybody. Maybe it wasn't. I should probably pay attention to the action a little bit more. But not too bad. This definitely allows me to wear Ricky and not worry about taking too much damage because I've got a lot of healers on here. I have no idea how this is going to even... I probably wouldn't use the healers in PvP. I still think either DPS minions that have a lot of speed or just a bunch of reflect tanks and cheese it. Probably still the best. And then again, I don't spend time on the DPS meter. Totally should, but hey, we'll do it on this one. Not too bad. Definitely able to do it. At around 6,000 total stats, I really felt, and even though the rest of my build was super strong, around 6,000 total stats, I really felt like I could only do ordeals as a tank with the Ricky pet. And now that I've hit 7,000 total stats, I do feel like I have a higher success rate than I did before when I was using the little angel healing pet. I still think Ricky's better, faster, all those good things. And this is one of the reasons why I really want to see an armory added to the game. Because let's say I'm doing ordeals right now and you're doing raids. And what if you really need my little angel shielding on your team? The game doesn't really update super quick when people change their gear. So you're going to enter in your raid and you're not going to know, and you're going to wonder why my team doesn't have any shielding or why everyone's getting blown up. But with an armory, if it's done well, it kind of eliminates that. And I know I'm not the only one doing it. I know there's other tanks that will wait to do our regen kind of late at night or just like some weird off hours to try to avoid that. Or let's say I want to do like war mode. Yes, I'm one of the people that still does war mode from time to time. If I'm going to do 30 war mode PvP attacks, that could take like an hour. So I usually do it when I'm doing something else. I can just kind of let autopilot run it. But still, that means for an hour each day, if I'm staying up on it, I'm not wearing my optimal gear that you might need for Raid 9. And could be some deaths with that. It doesn't feel great. Speaking of dying in Raid 9, I tried some different stat builds on the tank. I think I got my stamina down to like 1,800 and not too bad. I think it was, like 1,800 stamina, 1,800 speed, something like that. Not too bad. The only thing that could kill me is if someone let the Raid 9 boss use that 4 SP attack closest that hits twice and do like 40,000 damage unless you block it. So I think we had a couple people running me the other day. I know Zally was one of them. He ran like a dozen raids, and I think I ended up dying twice, which is too much for me. So I went back to 2,000 stamina. Hopefully that'll help. Maybe, maybe not. I don't really test my own character in Raid 9 because the damage on my team is so high that I don't see those different boss attacks. Now, I'm well aware that I could just put different DPS at my team to mimic a lower stat team, but I'm lazy. People are running me anyways. I might as well just let them tell me if I'm dying or not. But it is nice. I am getting hit by trash, I believe, so the little angel pet is proccing for most people. I don't think I get hit by trash in my team either because their damage is so high. So it's a good thing because, hey, damage is high, a lot of stats, that's all good. But the downside is you can't really stack up shields, and if you're not getting hit, you're not giving the defender SP to your team either. So it is a little bit weird trying to test my own character in Raid 9. So I do like to hear what's happening for other people that are using me, and I kind of change my build accordingly. But we're gearing up for another Guild Boss 5 push. We did the 5 waves of Guild Boss 1 through 4. It's not too bad. I know there's a couple guilds that are now clearing multiple Guild Boss 4s, which is really good. Once you start get that Guild Boss 4 loot rolling, morale in the guild goes up, gear goes up, everybody's upgrading, everything's doing great. So check out the damage here. I did 50% more damage than God of Swords. That's one of the reasons why I like having the healers here, because they're going to keep me nice and healthy, and I'm going to be the one doing all the damage anyways. God of Swords came really close to dying in almost all the battles, and that kind of happens all the time. If I do +5 God of Swords, she will get the 22 point whatever hit points, so that might be a little bit nice, but that's kind of where we're at right now. It definitely does the job. If you're just going to click the loop button, run a bunch of ordeals and just peace out, I mean, this will definitely do it for you. However, my other team, like I said, I ran for 6 hours and died once, so that's not too bad. And that was before I got to 7,000 total stats, because that was before I did my refining. So that was like 8.6 thousand total stats, and I died 1 out of 6 hours. That's not bad at all. I probably wouldn't die at all anymore with the same team. So let's sum this long video up. Eliminating Angel, which used to be known as Annihilation Angel before launch. Not too bad. I don't think it's a top prio minion for a lot of people. I think it looks awesome, but I don't think it's a top priority minion. There's probably other minions that you guys need to be working on before you worry about this kind of stuff. Or maybe you just want to stable minions that you already have. But if you have room on the team, and I think maybe future content will make this guy sing, if there's some sort of crazy difficult dungeon, or if elimination mode gets a lot more difficult, I think there might be some space. Angel plus Zeus kind of working together, keeping the dream alive, might make some sense. And then also God of Swords. If I upgrade God of Swords, maybe she'll start to be some sort of DPS beast and do amazing things, or not, or she'll just kind of do decent damage and kind of do her thing. I'm gotta say I'm a little underwhelmed that you can only get 11 more crit on her. If you could get like 11 crit 3 times on her, that might be too much. I don't know. She's got one skill that goes up to 50% crit, so you get 11 more, or 3 times 11, so it'd be like 83% crit. 83% crit makes me want to go upgrade a minion. 61% crit total. That's one of those things where it's like, all right, if I get some catchers and I'm not working on anything else for a video, all right, I guess we'll do Little Angel, or whatever her name is, God of Swords. So, all right, boys. Much more to come in the future. As always, appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.